A single leg cramp at night can break a bone in a senior's body. It sounds extreme, but for older adults with weaker bones, that sudden violent muscle spasm can pull so hard it leads to a fall, a fracture, and months of painful recovery. And the worst part? These cramps strike without warning, right in the middle of your sleep, leaving you breathless and terrified to move. If you've ever bolted upright in bed clutching your calf or spent the night afraid it would happen again, you know how it can steal your rest and your confidence. But here's the good news. You can fight back. Today we're revealing the top 7 vitamins and minerals proven to relax overactive muscles, protect bone density, improve circulation, and keep your legs cramp-free. Not just during the day, but even in the middle of the night. Imagine waking up without soreness, walking without stiffness, and sleeping without fear. That's the difference the right nutrients can make. So whether you love your morning walk, enjoy light gardening, or simply want to sleep through the night without pain, this video is for you. Before we start, tell me, when was your worst leg cramp, and what did you do? Share it in the comments so others can learn from your story. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our most important health tips from Senior Health Daily. Let's protect your nights and your legs together. We'll begin with a vitamin that silently decides whether your muscles stay calm or seize up without warning. Vitamin D. If your legs have been feeling weaker, slower, or less steady than they used to, there's a good chance this first nutrient is the reason. Vitamin D isn't just about strong bones. It's the spark plug for your muscles and balance. Without it, your legs can't react fast enough to catch you when you trip, and they can't contract with the force you need to climb stairs or stand from a chair without wobbling. Do you ever notice that it takes you longer to steady yourself when you lose your footing? That shaky moment might not be just age. It could be your body quietly telling you it's running on empty. Here's what happens. As you get older, your skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight. You also probably spend less time outside, or you cover up when you do. Add to that a lifetime of sunscreen use, good for your skin, but blocking vitamin D, and you've got the perfect recipe for a slow, silent deficiency. And that deficiency doesn't just make your bones fragile. Studies in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism have shown that seniors with low vitamin D have weaker muscle fibers, slower reaction times, and a higher risk of falls. Can you imagine avoiding a broken hip simply by getting this one nutrient right? Vitamin D's influence goes even deeper. It helps your body build and maintain fast-twitch muscle fibers, the kind that spring into action when you stumble or need to catch yourself. These fibers are like the emergency brakes for your legs. Without them, a small misstep can turn into a serious fall. It also improves the way your nerves and muscles talk to each other, so every signal from your brain arrives on time, and your legs respond exactly when they should. Have you noticed moments where your legs just don't seem to respond quickly enough? That delay could be as simple and as serious as low vitamin D. And there's another layer. Vitamin D calms inflammation in your muscles, which means less stiffness, fewer random aches, and fewer of those deep, nagging pains in your calves or thighs. Many people who've suffered from stubborn leg discomfort for years find that, once their vitamin D levels are back where they should be, they not only feel stronger, but move with more ease. Imagine sleeping through the night without your calves seizing up and waking up to legs that are ready to support you the moment you swing them out of bed. So how do you get more? The most natural way is sunlight. Just 15 to 30 minutes on your arms and legs in the morning or late afternoon can give you a boost. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, fortified dairy, egg yolks, and even certain mushrooms can help too. But for many seniors, especially those who rarely get outside, a supplement is essential. Most experts suggest 800 to 1,000 IU a day for bone and muscle health, and some people need more under a doctor's care. Have you ever had your vitamin D tested? That simple blood test could explain years of leg trouble. Getting your vitamin D right isn't just about adding a pill or sitting in the sun. It's about restoring the foundation your muscles and bones depend on. And here's the key. Vitamin D can only unlock its full potential if it's paired with another nutrient, one that literally builds the structure your legs stand on. Without it, even the strongest muscles can't protect you from a fracture. That's exactly where we're headed next. 2. Calcium. Building unbreakable bones and steady steps. If vitamin D is the spark, calcium is the framework. It's the material your bones are made of, and without enough of it, every step you take is a gamble. Do you ever worry that one bad fall could change your life forever? For seniors, especially those with osteoporosis, that's not just a fear. It's a real possibility. Hip fractures, broken femurs, and stress fractures in the lower legs can take months to heal, and sometimes they never fully do. And here's the hard truth. Even if your muscles are strong, weak bones can't support them. Calcium does more than build bone. Every time you take a step, stand from a chair, or climb a stair, your muscles contract, and that contraction depends on calcium. Without enough, your muscles can feel weak, sluggish, or cramp unexpectedly. Have you ever been walking and suddenly felt your legs tighten for no reason? That's your body's way of telling you the balance between muscle and mineral is off. The tricky part is that your bones aren't static. Even in your later years, they're constantly breaking down and rebuilding. The problem? As you age, the breakdown outpaces the rebuild. Without a steady supply of calcium, your bones lose density year after year, and the inner framework becomes porous and fragile. That's when even a small stumble can cause a break. And if you've ever watched someone you know go from independent to needing a walker after a fracture, you understand how much is at stake. So how do you make sure you're getting enough? Dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese are classic sources, but they're not the only options. Leafy greens like kale and bok choy, almonds, tofu, sardines, and fortified plant milks can all contribute to your daily intake. And here's a little tip. Your body absorbs calcium better when it's paired with vitamin D, which we just talked about. Have you noticed how often those two show up together on supplement labels? That's not by accident. But more isn't always better. Too much calcium, especially from supplements, can lead to kidney stones, digestive issues, or even calcium buildup in your arteries. That's why most experts recommend aiming for 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams a day from a mix of foods and supplements, and checking with your doctor before making big changes. And here's something most people don't realize. Calcium doesn't automatically go to your bones. It needs other nutrients to guide it to the right place. Otherwise, it can end up in soft tissues where it causes stiffness or pain. Even if you're getting enough calcium, there's another problem. Strong bones and powerful muscles won't matter if your legs can't get the signal to move. Have you ever tried to take a step and felt like your legs just weren't listening to your brain? That delay, that hesitation, isn't always about muscle or bone. It's about the wiring that connects them. And the vitamin that protects that wiring is one most people overlook completely. That's where we're going next. 3. Vitamin B12. The nerve-muscle connection. Think about the last time you tried to get up quickly from a chair. Did your legs respond right away, or did you feel a strange heaviness, like they were slow to wake up? That sluggish response isn't always from weak muscles or sore joints. It can be because the signal from your brain isn't making it to your legs fast enough. And one of the biggest reasons that signal gets lost is a lack of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is like the insulation on electrical wires. It protects and strengthens the pathways your nerves use to send instructions to your muscles. Without enough, those signals can get weak, slow, or scrambled. You might feel tingling in your feet, numbness in your calves, or a subtle loss of balance that makes you grab for a railing without thinking. Have you ever been walking and felt like your feet weren't quite landing where you expected? That's your nervous system asking for help. The problem is, B12 deficiency is far more common in older adults than most people realize. Your body doesn't store it the same way it does other vitamins, and absorbing it from food gets harder with age. Why? You need enough stomach acid and a special protein called intrinsic factor to pull B12 out of the food you eat. As you get older, stomach acid production often drops, and if you take antacids, acid reflux medication, or have digestive issues, your absorption can plummet even further. That's why so many seniors slowly lose B12 over the years without anyone noticing, until walking becomes harder, balance becomes less steady, and fatigue creeps in for no obvious reason. When you restore B12, the difference can be dramatic. Those heavy, tired legs can feel lighter. Your reflexes sharpen. You may even notice you recover more quickly after a walk or a busy day. The best sources are animal-based, lean meats, fish like salmon or tuna, eggs, and dairy. Shellfish, especially clams, are loaded with it. If you follow a plant-based diet or have trouble absorbing B12 from food, fortified cereals and plant milks can help. In more serious cases, high-dose supplements or even periodic injections can make all the difference. One of the safest things about B12 is that it's water-soluble, so your body flushes out any extra. But don't let that make you think it's optional. Once nerve damage sets in from a long-term deficiency, it can be permanent. That's why getting your levels checked and corrected early is so important. Have you ever had a simple blood test to see where you stand? That tiny step could be the reason you walk with confidence for years to come. But even if your nerves are firing perfectly, there's another problem that can keep your legs from feeling strong and steady. Sudden, painful cramps that wake you up at night or hit you in the middle of the day. You can have perfect nerve signals and strong bones, but if your muscles seize up, you're stopped in your tracks. That's where the next mineral steps in, and it could be the key to quieting those cramps for good. 4. Magnesium. The night cramp neutralizer. You know that feeling when you're finally comfortable in bed, almost asleep, and suddenly your calf tightens like a rock? You grab your leg, try to stretch it, and wait for that burning pain to let go. Those nighttime cramps aren't just bad luck. They're often your body's way of telling you it's running low on magnesium. Magnesium works quietly in the background, making sure your muscles contract and relax exactly when they should. Without it, your nerves can become overactive, sending random signals that make muscles seize up. Have you ever had your foot cramp in the middle of a walk, forcing you to stop and shake it out? That's your muscles misfiring. For many seniors, those misfires happen most at night, when your body is trying to rest, but your muscles can't switch off. And it's not just about cramps. Magnesium also plays a role in bone health. It helps regulate where calcium goes, making sure it ends up strengthening your bones instead of building up in your joints or arteries. Low magnesium can leave you stiff in the morning, struggling to get moving, even if your bones themselves are healthy. Do you wake up feeling like your legs are heavier than they should be? That stiffness could be a clue. The trouble is, magnesium is easy to lose. Stress, certain medications like diuretics and heartburn drugs, and even a diet low in whole foods can slowly drain your levels. By the time cramps start, your body's already been running on empty for a while. That's why restoring magnesium can sometimes feel like flipping a switch. You go from restless, cramp-prone nights to sleeping through without a single spasm. Getting more magnesium can be as simple as changing what's on your plate. Leafy greens like spinach, seeds like pumpkin or sunflower, nuts like almonds, and beans like black beans are all rich sources. Avocados, whole grains, and dark chocolate can help too. If you're not getting enough from food, certain forms of magnesium supplements, like magnesium citrate or glycinate, are easier for your body to absorb than others. But here's something to remember. More isn't always better. Too much magnesium from supplements can upset your stomach or cause diarrhea, so it's best to start slowly and see how your body responds. Even though research on magnesium and cramps is mixed, many older adults notice fewer episodes and more relaxed muscles when they keep their magnesium intake steady. Have you ever tracked your diet to see if you're actually getting enough? Sometimes the numbers are surprisingly low. But while magnesium can calm muscle spasms, it's not the whole story. Your muscles also need the right balance of fluids and minerals inside and outside their cells to work smoothly. If that balance is off, even the best magnesium levels won't stop cramps or weakness. That balance depends on another mineral, one that most people think they get enough of, but many seniors still lack. And when you're short on it, your legs can tremble, your steps can feel unsteady, and your risk of falling can climb. That's where we're headed next. 5. Potassium, the muscle signal stabilizer. Have you ever gotten out of bed in the morning, taken those first few steps, and felt your calves tighten, or your legs tremble like they're not quite ready to hold you up? That shaky, crampy feeling often comes down to one thing: potassium. Most people know potassium is important for heart health, but your muscles rely on it just as much. Without enough, the messages between your brain and your legs get weaker and slower, and even simple movements can feel less controlled. Potassium's job is to keep the fluids in and around your muscle cells in perfect balance. When that balance tips, too little potassium inside the cell, too much outside, your muscles can contract at the wrong time or fail to relax when they should. That's when you get those sudden, painful cramps or that uneasy feeling your legs might give way. Have you ever been walking and suddenly felt your foot drag just enough to make you stumble? That's your muscle signals getting scrambled. There's more. Potassium also plays a quiet but powerful role in bone health. It helps neutralize acids in your body that can slowly leach calcium from your bones. Over time, that means potassium isn't just protecting your muscle function. It's helping your skeleton stay strong enough to support you. In a way, it's the link between mobility and stability. The good news? There are plenty of delicious ways to get more of it. While bananas are the poster child for potassium, they're just the beginning. Sweet potatoes, spinach, beans, oranges, avocados, and even a baked potato with the skin can pack more potassium than a banana. The trick is variety. Getting different sources throughout the week keeps your levels steady without overloading you in one go. Most adults need about 2,600 milligrams a day for women and 3,400 for men. And it's not hard to hit those numbers if you're intentional about it. But here's the catch. If you have kidney problems or take certain medications for blood pressure or heart issues, too much potassium can be dangerous. That's why it's worth talking to your doctor before making big changes. Have you ever actually checked your potassium intake? You might be surprised at how much or how little you're getting. But potassium can't do its job alone. For your bones to truly benefit from all that calcium, and for your joints to stay flexible, you need another vitamin that acts like a traffic controller. It decides where calcium ends up, either strengthening your skeleton or clogging places it doesn't belong. And if it's missing, your legs might stay cramp-free, but still be at risk for stiffness, fractures, or poor circulation. That's the vitamin we're talking about next. 6. Vitamin K, the calcium traffic controller. You can take all the calcium in the world, but if your body doesn't send it to the right place, it won't make your bones any stronger. In fact, it can do the opposite. Calcium that ends up in your arteries or soft tissues can make you stiff, sore, and more at risk for heart problems. That's where vitamin K comes in. Think of it as the traffic controller for calcium, guiding it into your bones where it belongs and keeping it out of places it shouldn't be. Vitamin K works by activating proteins like osteocalcin, which literally bind calcium into your bone structure. Without enough K, calcium can float around unused, leaving your bones weaker and your risk of fractures higher. Have you ever wondered why some people still break bones, even though they take calcium and vitamin D every day? Often, it's because they're missing this piece of the puzzle. But vitamin K isn't just about bones. It also helps keep your joints moving smoothly by reducing inflammation. For many older adults, That means less stiffness after sitting for a long time and more freedom to move without that slow, careful first few steps. Have you noticed your knees or hips feel stiff until you've walked for a minute or two? That's often a sign your joints and the muscles around them aren't getting the full support they need. The best sources depend on the type. Vitamin K1 is found in leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens. Vitamin K2, which stays active in the body longer and is especially powerful for bone health, is found in fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, and certain animal products like egg yolks and liver. Including both in your diet gives your body the best chance to use calcium properly. One thing to know, if you're on blood-thinning medication, changes in vitamin K intake can affect how your medicine works. So you'll want to talk to your doctor before making adjustments. Have you ever tracked how much vitamin K you actually eat in a day? For many people, it's far less than they think. Vitamin K can keep your bones solid and your joints smooth, but there's still one more step to make sure your legs not only avoid cramps and fractures, but also have the energy and stamina to carry you through your day. That last vitamin is all about endurance, recovery, and keeping your legs feeling light instead of heavy, and that's exactly what we'll talk about next. 7. Vitamin B6, the endurance booster. Have you ever started your day feeling fine, only to find your legs feel heavy and tired halfway through? That dragging sensation can happen even if your muscles and bones are strong. Often it's because your body isn't producing enough red blood cells to deliver oxygen to your muscles. That's where vitamin B6 comes in. Vitamin B6 plays a crucial role in making hemoglobin, the part of your red blood cells that carries oxygen. Without enough, your muscles don't get the fuel they need to keep going, and you start to feel worn out after just a short walk or a few minutes of standing. Have you noticed you get out of breath or your legs feel weak faster than they used to? That's your body telling you it's running low on energy at the cellular level. But B6 does more than support endurance. It also helps your nervous system work efficiently, keeping the signals between your brain and muscles quick and accurate. Without it, those signals can slow down or get muddled, making you feel clumsy or unsteady. And it plays a role in reducing inflammation, which can mean less stiffness and faster recovery after activity. Imagine walking up a flight of stairs and not feeling like you have to stop halfway. That's the kind of change B6 can help with. You can find B6 in many everyday foods: poultry like chicken and turkey, fish like salmon and tuna, bananas, potatoes, and chickpeas. For most people, including a mix of these foods in daily meals is enough. But if you have digestive issues or certain health conditions, you might need a supplement to keep your levels optimal. The good news is, as long as you stay within the recommended amounts, B6 is generally safe and well tolerated. The key is consistency. B6 works best when your body always has enough on hand, so it can keep your blood, nerves, and muscles running smoothly day after day. Have you ever noticed how some days your legs feel like they could walk for miles, and others they feel heavy after a block? That inconsistency might be linked to nutrients like B6. Now you've seen how each of these 7 vitamins and minerals plays a different role in keeping your legs strong, steady, and free from cramps. But knowing them isn't enough. You need a simple way to remember what to do each day to put it all into action. That's exactly what the Nighttime Leg Rescue Checklist will give you, and it's coming up next. So now you know the 7 vitamins and minerals that can change the way your legs feel, not just during the day, but in the middle of the night when cramps usually strike. The truth is, you don't have to remember every detail from earlier to start seeing results. All you need is a simple routine you can follow every day. That's what this Nighttime Leg Rescue Checklist is all about. Before bed, make sure your day has included foods or supplements that cover these 7 essentials: vitamin D to spark muscle strength, calcium to keep bones unbreakable, B12 to keep nerve signals sharp, magnesium to relax tight muscles, potassium to keep muscle signals steady, vitamin K to guide calcium where it belongs, and B6 to keep your legs light and full of energy. Even small steps, like adding a serving of leafy greens, swapping a snack for a handful of almonds, or taking a short walk in the morning sun, can start moving you in the right direction. You might be wondering, how fast can I feel the difference? For some people, the change is almost immediate. Better sleep, fewer cramps, steadier steps. For others, it builds week by week. Have you ever tracked your progress for a month? Imagine looking back and realizing your nights are calmer, your mornings are easier, and you no longer hesitate before standing up. The best part is, this isn't about giving up your favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. It's about small, intentional choices that let you stay active, independent, and confident. If you've been living with cramps, weakness, or the fear of falling, you don't have to accept that as your future. You can start changing it tonight. If this has given you a plan you can use, I'd love to hear about it. Share your story in the comments, hit the like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe so you don't miss the next set of tips for keeping your body strong at any age. Your legs have carried you this far. Now it's time to give them what they need to keep going.